Hello and welcome to Ridgid Tool Shop. I'm Georgia and today I'm speaking with John Muckle, the Ridgid Sales Director for Northwest Europe, the Middle East and Africa. So John, with all those territories to manage, you're obviously a very busy man.
Thank you for being with us here today.
No problem. Good morning.
How has the international pandemic affected Ridgid's product and supply chain?
It's not been an easy 18 months for us or any other company that manufactures and supplies the product. We've had issues with getting component parts. We have small issues with labour because of the COVID infections and causing problems within the production plants. And of course, we've also had big problems internationally getting product across waters. Getting hold of containers and getting it shipped has been a huge problem. But it's things that everybody's been suffering with, and we're working through all of those problems. So we've increased investment in the production plants, especially in our US main production plant. We've increased the number of shifts. We've employed more people as well. And now the shipping is becoming easier and air freight is starting to happen again. It's still a lot more expensive than it ever used to be, but we're trying to play catch up a little bit. So all of that is starting to make the life a lot easier, and the product is becoming a lot more available. We've also been guilty of actually having increased sales numbers as well, which has increased the backlog problem. So unfortunately, being successful has also heightened the problem.
Fantastic. So where are Ridgid's products produced?
The majority of the products we still manufacture in the US, so we're still very proud that we control every part of the manufacturing process. So for example, with the wrenches, we own the foundries that make the castings for the materials for the handles. We own the assembly plants, we own the paint shops, we own the distribution warehouses as well. So majority of the product, I think it's somewhere over 70% of the product is still manufactured in the US. We do make some products elsewhere as well. Some of the high technology, low cost items we do have manufactured in China, but it's premises that are Ridgid premises, so it's not products that we factor in, it's products that we actually have manufactured for us.
All Ridgid.
All Ridgid.
So what new products have been launched recently and what's in the pipeline?
Focus on strategy at the moment is on UT products, so underground technology. So recently we've introduced upgrades to the camera systems. So we now have TrueSense on the cameras that we can have a much clearer picture in drainage situations. We're very proud of the flex shaft drain cleaning that's come through into our range. We now have 3 ranges of flex shaft machine, the 102, the 204 and the powered 306, which have been very successful for us. And press technology for pipe press is hugely important for us. So we recently introduced the RP219, which is the small diameters pipe press tool, to also go with the RP240, 241 for the larger sizes, and our largest tool is the RP350 and 351, so either inline or pistol grip, which features new technology, so it's brushless technology, so zero servicing on the RP350 and 351. So there are 2 main strategies for the future, so press and underground technologies.
Fabulous. As you said, pressing technology has been around for some years now. How important is it for the future of pipe working, and can we expect to see a decline in traditional pipe threading?
Pipe threading and soldering will certainly decline. We've always predicted that threading machines will decline year on year for probably 10 years or more. And we do see that a little bit, not as pronounced as we thought it was going to be. But pressing technology, because of the technology that's involved in it, it now goes up to 108mm diameter with no problems. And it's quick and it's clean, so you don't have any hot work permits, you don't have any swarf or oil or anything else dropping on the floor, which means you can use it in a lot more controlled conditions. So for example, if you're doing a repair to a pipeline in a hospital, you don't have to clear the hospital ward first before you go in with the technology. So with pressing, we can do a guaranteed joint within 4 seconds with no danger of dirt or water, etc. So absolutely, and as the acceptance of the technology gets more and more in the industry, then yes, it will come through to all of the other trades as well. So we're now seeing pressing in the plumbing industry far more than we were 5 years ago, and I can only imagine it will keep growing.
Fantastic. So, Ridgid have introduced a number of innovative technology products over the past decade or so. What new technological innovations can we expect to see in the near future?
Well, we'll carry on adding technology to the products, and it's about traceability of the products, it's about recording and analysis of the products as well. So things like apps, we've done it with the handheld inspection cameras, the CA350X, etc., which then can be used onto the bigger camera systems as well, the larger monitors, the CA65X, the 12X, etc. All has reporting software so that we can share the information better with the people that use the product. It means it can also give the information to the end user, the customer, better. So absolutely that sort of technology is coming in more. We have new battery technology coming in as well. So in the next year we have more cordless tools coming on products that we haven't had battery technology on before. So it's increasing the power of the battery so we can use it on more products, which also helps on the health and safety side of it. So less trailing wires, etc., the easier it will become to use. So battery technology absolutely is a fundamental thing coming through in the next few years, and more accessibility of the tools itself with apps and things that will help the tool work better.
Exciting. So, Ridgid is one of almost 80 brands under the Emerson banner. What is the future for Ridgid within Emerson?
It's very strong. Ridge Tool has been part of Emerson since, I think, 1966, where we were bought by Emerson. And we were the only tool part of the business. Recently, we've actually added 2 extra brands, Klauke and Greenlee, which are huge successful companies, Greenlee being the American manufacturer for electrical tools, and Klauke is the European arm of that, produced in Germany as well. Reason for that is Ridgid gives the mechanical side, Greenlee and Klauke give the electrical and also the plumbing side with the 3 brands, which means that we can go after key industries such as the MEP contractor, the big contractors, etc. So the investment from Emerson has been huge. It's a very good situation. It's a great parent company as well. And yeah, the right strategic acquisitions are still being looked at and will grow further.
Fantastic. So, how important is e-commerce to Ridgid, and what part will it play in the future of the Ridgid brand?
E-commerce, again, has been an important transition in our business and the way that we do business with our partners in the industry. We only sell via distribution in any case, as you know. So with the e-commerce, it just gives another way that the product can be purchased, another way that the end user, the ultimate customer, can choose to buy the product as well. So we've seen that people aren't following shop times, so they can purchase what they want and when they want. We've seen the range of products that we're selling becomes more accessible. The more it gets transmitted on e-commerce platforms, the more products get seen and gets visible, not necessarily just the ones that we choose to sell. So we've seen a far range of portfolio products being sold from especially on the Ridgid brand. It's an important part of our business. It's somewhere in the region of 20% of our business goes through e-commerce transactions, more in some countries than others. Scandinavia, etc., are further ahead with e-commerce than other parts of Europe. So it's a massive part of our business, and we're putting a lot of resources into it, both in personnel and also technology. We've increased our e-commerce team dramatically, and the technology that we've put in with Buy It Now function from our .com site, which takes it through to our preferred partners in the industry for e-commerce transactions. So we're putting a lot of time and effort to try and make the experience better, to try and help our partners in the e-commerce to work better, to have the product better presented, and more information for the end user. So absolutely a key strategy for us.
Fantastic. So what marketing activities and events will we be seeing in 2022? I was about to say 2021 then. We're almost done. Never mind, 2022.
2022. Difficult at the moment. We're looking at what we do for 2022. With the global pandemic, we've seen the way that we market the product change greatly. Trade shows, etc., aren't happening in the same way they used to, and there is a small reluctance to go back to doing what we did before just because we always have done. So we're monitoring what happens and how the customer wants to interact with us, how they want to see us. So we'll be doing more specific industry things. So look at key industries such as underground technologies, such as pressing, etc., and look for things that we can try and do to get to those end users better, to work with them. More things like roadshows, etc., getting the sales teams actually working, interacting with the end users to show what technology we're producing and bringing forward. So it's a cautious 22, and we'll see how the pandemic finishes off, but hopefully get to see the customers a lot more than we have done last year.
Fingers crossed.
Indeed.
So, our last question. What is your favourite Ridgid tool and what do you use it for?
Very good question. It has to be the pipe wrench. It's what we started with in 1923 and pretty much hasn't changed since those days. And it's probably, from the pipe wrench range, it's probably the hex wrench. It has 2.5 inch capacity. It's a very small, easy little wrench as well. And yeah, it's what we're known for.
Fantastic.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you like what you saw, give us a like, and don't forget to check us out on the social medias and our website.